Did you get it? Is it on?
What was that sigh, dude?
Oh, hey, sometimes you just gotta go. You just gotta go with it.
Go. Well, this is Taking Over the World with Ed and Aaron. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
So, we were talking just about what we're going to get started with, right?
Okay.
And we have a live studio audience today,
Yeah.
which is awesome. And Amanda said, well, we're hungry, so talk about In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. Staple.
So, I'm not a huge In-N-Out fan.
What?
But
Well,
let's talk about this.
I'm not
Hold
a
on.
U fan.
You're not not a lot of people are my fans.
Why? I would like to hear the reasoning behind this.
Well, it's just not my favorite. I mean, I like their burgers, but it's not my favorite burger spot in all the world. It's
Okay,
not.
I have a theory on that, but
Okay.
go ahead.
So, what I found out is loyalty goes a very, very long way.
It does, 100%.
So, what brand of soda does In-N-Out serve?
I don't know. I don't really drink a lot
There's
of
two
soda.
brands.
I'm guessing Coca-Cola.
Very good. That's one of them. And that's the one they serve. Okay. What is the name of the lemon and lime soda associated with Coca-Cola?
I don't know. I mean, is it 7-Up?
No, it's Sprite.
Serious? Oh, Sprite?
It's Sprite.
Okay.
Sprite is a Coca-Cola product.
Okay.
But In-N-Out doesn't serve Sprite.
Why?
It serves 7-Up.
Okay.
Because when they were a young startup,
Mm-hmm.
their warehouse burnt down. And they were near a 7-Up warehouse.
Okay.
And the people at the 7-Up warehouse said, hey, why don't you keep your stuff here while you're getting rebuilt so you don't lose any operations while things are going.
I like it.
So,
A little value add situation.
So because of that loyalty that 7-Up showed them when they were starting, they will continue to serve 7-Up at all of their stores and not Sprite.
It's an interesting concept.
That's loyalty.
To the highest degree.
It's like our clients. They call us because they know they're going to get great service. They know we're concerned about what they do and how they do it. So they call us back.
Well, and to piggyback on that, I think the ones...
Why do you got to piggyback? Can't you just talk about it?
No, because you got to jump on the piggyback, and then that way you're on it together. So if you're riding piggyback style, you're with that person. Okay. If you're just walking next to them, you could go your other way. If I'm piggybacking, I got to go that way. I don't have an option. I'm piggybacking.
Okay.
Okay?
You're right.
Are we good?
We're good.
Okay.
Piggyback is fine now.
Please note that piggyback is now fine. Okay, here we go. So here's my thought on this: is that I heard something the other day, something like 85% of home buyers don't use the same real estate agent twice.
Correct. Do you know why that is?
Well, I'm going to give you my theory.
No, I'm going to tell you the reason why. There's an actual reason why.
Last time I said this said Ed, Aaron, and Aaron. Okay, my theory is, based on what you're saying, is that it's not that the consumer doesn't have loyalty. It's that agents don't give them a reason to have loyalty. Agents, a lot of them are kind of one-dimensional, right? They're transaction-oriented. They want to get the transaction done. It's kind of for their client, but kind of selfishly, because they want to get paid. All of us, we go to work to get paid. However, a lot of agents look at the short-term fix as one transaction. And they don't look at the fact is that if I'm honest, if I do the right thing, if I lend my warehouse, if I lend him a moving truck, if I'm there to see it through, that creates that loyalty. And I think one thing that we're big on is always being transparent and giving our clients a reason to be loyal. If we don't think it's the right deal, we tell them. If we don't think this is right, we tell them. If we think this is great and a good deal, we tell them.
Right.
And by continuing to follow up, we now give them a reason to be loyal because, like you said, our clients know that we're going to treat them right. We're going to be honest with them. I mean, our job is not to be the yes person, right? Do you like this house? Yes. Should I buy it? Yes. No. Our job is to lay out a scenario, build a strategic plan, talk to them, the pros and cons of every move, of every house, and give them enough information for them to make that decision on what's going to work for them.
Correct.
So that's my theory on it. So now go ahead and tell me what the answer is.
The actual reason...
Since you got the teacher's edition.
Yeah, I have the cheat sheet. The real reason is that only 90% of them don't remember who their agent was.
Because they didn't give them a reason to.
Because they didn't give it, or they don't keep in touch with them, or they don't keep top of mind, or figure out a way to at least call and concerned and figure out, hey, is everything going okay? What do you need?
Well, and I think that goes into a lot of times people think once the transaction's over, that's the end of it. And I think like for us is like the transaction is the beginning. Once that transaction ends, it's like the beginning of phase two of you, like you said, staying in touch with them, helping them out with, I mean, we get notifications if they have an issue with the home warranty, like if some, I know you've gotten, notification before, the hot water was replaced and you've given them a call.
Speaking of that, we just
Hey,
got one this morning from one of your
what's
clients.
going on? Like I heard the hot water was replaced. Like, is everything okay? I mean, there's enough bad companies out there. I mean, we have some clients that are dealing with one now that they had a major repair that needed to be done. They had the home warranty, and the home warranty is like, hey, cool, this is going to be about a $6,000 fix. We'll give you $500 and have a good day.
Now, truth be told, that was not one that we
It
used or
was
recommend.
not. That was let the record show. So it was well before we got involved with this client.
So that's why it's important. So, like, we have a couple of this morning. I don't know if they were forwarded to you. If not, I'll forward them to you. We got a couple of home warranty repairs.
Okay.
One of them was your client.
Okay.
That you should call and be like, hey, is everything cool?
I agree.
So we use companies that help us keep in touch with our clients and keep us informed of what's going on in their world. And that's kind of it. It's kind of like now I'm seeing, right? So now that I'm doing this more on the team leader role and less in the real estate world, because I'm now running the office and doing that stuff. I spoke to an agent. I got called the other day and referred an agent that is struggling. She's been licensed. She's at a brokerage.
Okay.
She's getting no traction. She did an open house. She did a couple open houses and 0 people showed up. So my question is, okay, what'd you do to market your open house? Right? Because
I put up signs.
That's exactly what she did. She did put up signs. And I said, okay, well, didn't anybody tell you about doing anything? I sent a couple emails. I'm like, okay, that doesn't work. So once I told her about strategies and things, she's like, okay, I'm moving my license. She moved her license over last week. She onboarded this week. She comes in today and she's like, okay, I'm ready to start doing open houses. What do I need to do? So I said, okay, let's get you set up. Let's do this. Let's get a list of phone numbers from title. Let's get some door hangers. Obviously, the list we're going to call is TCPA compliant. Get some door hangers so you can hang them on doors in the neighborhood. Let them know that you're doing an open house. Let's do these activities to start creating some traction. I said, and to be honest with you, it's Mother's Day weekend. It's already Wednesday. By the time you get started, it'll be Thursday, Friday. You're not going to have time.
Sure.
Let's start next week. Let's start fresh, pick an open house, and let's prepare it properly. She was here for about 4 or 5 hours today, getting everything ready, getting her system set up. And she was like, I've learned more in 5 hours than I did being licensed over there in a year. So it's value. Like, what value do you provide people? Right? So you had an interesting one today. Right? We have an experienced agent joined our team.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then we're keeping her because she's an experienced agent. Go ahead. You tell the story because you dealt with that. You told me.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was one of those ones that I think over the last month, we've gotten more protective over our team, right? I think the way that we kind of started about a year ago, it was kind of, the vision was almost, hey, we want to be a spot where everybody can come and everybody can feel supported and can be guided, right? And not that there's anything wrong with that, but in that year we learned people join teams for the quick fix, not that they want to be guided, not that they want to be supported. They want to be handed deals and paychecks for doing the bare minimum. And I think that goes with anything we do. Like you talk about, we all got kids that have played sports, right? And, we've talked in length about our kids in sports and how you got to earn it. You got to go out there. You got to work. There is no quick answer. You can't, go out and hit baseballs one day and expect to make the varsity team at your high school. You can't go out and shoot free throws for 20 minutes once a month and expect to be a starter on the basketball team, right? Like you have to put in the work and you have to be willing to face failure, and learn from it. Right. And I think that's what a lot of agents don't realize right now. And the agents that don't realize that, you're hearing words like, I'm transitioning elsewhere, or I'm going to be part-time, right? But the agents, even the experienced agents, like the one we're talking about now, made the call to me. It's like, listen, I know where I'm at. I know what you guys can do for me. I know why I'm here. I want to be held more accountable. I know I have to put in the work. I just want to be supported and not even as much guided, because they know how to do it. They've been in the industry long enough and have had success. But we all get to that point where, people will ask you, how's the market? Well, the market is what the market is. Are you busy? Yeah, we are busy. Oh, I heard so-and-so said it's slow. Well, that's probably because they're checking in once a week or once every other week, and right, wrong, or indifferent, they're doing a side hustle, this or that, and they're not committed to the job. That would be like me hiring a personal finance guy that is part-time and kind of does it as a hobby.
Right.
That's not what I want out of my finance guy, right? I want a finance guy who's in the trenches. He knows good, bad, indifferent things that are going on in the market. He can talk me off a ledge. He can pump me up, help advise me on where to go. And I think that's what people want out of agents. And when the agents check in and say, that's what I want because I want to be that to my clients, then we can move on. And like I told this agent today, he's like, listen, and Ed, the way that we operate is like, we're not here to micromanage you. We're here to do what you need us to do. And this agent said, I think it's time that I need to be micromanaged and held more accountable. I said, great. Let's flip that switch on and go. Like, I got no problem doing that. But I'm not going to sit here and hold your hand and treat you like a little child.
If you don't want that.
If that's not what you want. Like, it's got to be a win for both parties.
So it's funny because you talk about professionals and been in the business, right? So part of our studio audience today went to the doctor. And
it's a good point.
Yeah, she went to the doctor. And as soon as the doctor saw her eye, because she has a slight eye infection, he says, we're going to take your eyeballs out. And she's like, oh, no. Like, I don't want this doctor. Like, is he even licensed? Like, what he's talking about. So she was concerned because why is the guy going to want to take my eye? Obviously, he was joking around. But she didn't know that at the time because he was serious.
Well, and I think, so I actually thought.
That was funny, though.
I thought about that comment earlier before we started. And I started thinking in my brain, what are industries that right off the bat you can hit them with humor? Being a doctor is probably not one of them, right? Like you roll in and like I am a hypochondriac, right? Like
for you,
like,
you would have died.
Like I get a headache and I'm like, oh, well, this is how I'm dying. I got a brain tumor. Yep. Like I get pain in my hip. I'm like, oh, cool. Well, they're gonna amputate my leg. So this is cool. Like this is how I go down.
You got a cramp. I got a blood clot. I'm dying.
For sure, 100%. Like that's what goes through. That's what goes through. I'm making deals with Jesus. Like, hey, I'll be a better person. I promise. Just let me make it through this. It was like I think that is what we've kind of built our team on, is that relationship, that rapport. You've got to know your audience before you open with, cool, we'll just take out your eyeballs, right? Like that's a tough opening line on like a first meeting, That's like asking the girl, hey, like on a first date, like, oh, hey, here's our table, cool, want to get married? Like, okay, who's this creep,
that
right?
Doesn't work?
No, I don't think so. I
thought it would.
But it's funny because I do the same thing a lot with like my younger sports teams. Like when the kids get injured and stuff, like, it's like one of those things where you see your kids younger, they'll trip and they'll fall. And if nobody pays attention, they're perfectly fine.
Right.
But as soon as you're like, oh my God, are you okay? They start crying.
Yeah.
So like I'll always be like, hey, listen, like I told one of the girls on our softball team that she's 9. I'm like, hey, she hurt her finger, right? Like she got jammed or something. I was like, hey, like you're lucky. I got like a saw and extra fingers in my bag. Like, just tell me what size finger you want. I'll cut that thing right off. You'll be ready to go by the 4th inning. And she goes, Coach, you would say something like that. But it's like, and then she started kind of laughing. It's like, but I've known them for a long time.
Right.
But that's also a way of like me trying to get their mind off it, like trying to get them to laugh.
Right.
But like if I were to walk up to some kid I didn't know and they're like, hey, excuse me, sir, my finger hurts. Cool, I can cut it off. They'd be like, what kind of drugs are you on? And like, get away from my child, right? But it's like, so I was funny because I was thinking the same thing, like, what are professions? And I was thinking like another one would be like an attorney, right? Like, God forbid you're in a spot where you have to meet with an attorney and we're talking like there's some serious shit on the line.
Right.
Like the last thing I want to do is meet my attorney for the first time and the attorney goes like, well, 4 years in jail is not going to be the worst thing. Like, I would be like, no, this is not laughy waffy time, bro. Like, I am not built for prison. Have you seen this face? I am not built for prison. Okay? I am not a fighter. I am a lover.
So,
And not the jail kind.
no, so talk.
I'm going to get canceled. I'm getting canceled. I'm getting canceled.
But that's one of the things that we over. I think sometimes we over, like just like pause, like jump over it and don't actually pay attention to the accountability and the reliability and what people expect. I mean, we were talking about I was in a meeting yesterday, right? And even though I've only been in this position for 30 days, it was the first quarter, which I had nothing to do because I wasn't in the position in the first quarter. And they say, okay, let's discuss results. And while other people were discussing it different ways, I was like, hey, you know what? I wasn't even here, but I'm going to take it on the chin. It's my market center. I'm responsible for it. We sucked last quarter. I can't do anything about it. Going forward, this is what our plan is.
Yeah.
And the regional person was like, okay. I mean, like, what are you going to do to me? I'm already telling you we suck. I'm taking responsibility because we didn't do the right job.
And it goes, I was on a kick with Audible books for a while because my reading.
You stopped reading.
I stopped.
You stopped listening.
I stopped physically reading because I read the same page over like 12 times in a half hour.
And you kept falling asleep.
And I kept falling asleep or like, man, wait, hold on. What did this say? So, and the last one was still that Let Them by Mel Robbins. And I think it goes back to like that theory, right? If you own something, people are so concerned about lying or changing the narrative or justifying, rationalizing, why numbers are low or why this didn't happen. Instead of being like, you know what, man, it is what it is. I'm committed to do better moving forward. Or, hey, I screwed up here. Like people are so worried about other people's perception that they become deceitful in the way that they give information out. And I've realized, like, the more that I listen to that book, and I'm sure we've all done it at some point, we've exaggerated a story to benefit ourselves or to try to get out of something. And I feel like the more that you do that, and the more I started thinking back, it just started giving me anxiety. Like the more you wear it and you put it out on the table, you can go to bed at least like, hey, listen, well, they can not like it, they can like it, but at least, you know what?
There's the answer.
My hands are clean, like I've given my piece. Not it's like you're going to bed like, oh, dear baby Jesus, I hope they don't find out what really happened, because that's where, that anxiety lives, and operating out of fear is really just no place to operate out of.
So, speaking of that, have you been to the gym lately? Because I don't see you posting.
So, what happened was I had my legs started hurting and I had a blood clot. No, I haven't. And listen, I really don't have any excuse for it. I'm just going to go and pull your move and be like, no, dude, I just been lazy.
There you go.
And the part, and it's all, it's every problem you can get to the, like, instead of trying to cover up the problem, you got to figure out what the root of the problem is. Right. And I'm 100% convinced at 43 years old, I know what the root of the problem is. I need a bedtime.
And you keep saying that.
I need a bedtime. I need to program like the internet, or because I guess I play on my phone sometimes, or I'm watching something dumb on TV, like literally not being productive. Right. Like this is just like dead brain time. And I just like even last night, I was laying with our youngest and I passed out and I went downstairs, fell asleep. I was like knocked out at like 9:00. It was like for once, and since this rain has done wonders for my schedule in the evening, right? It's like freed up all my outdoor sports, right? And then like I woke up at like 11:30, and the intelligent thing to do would have been
go
back to bed. Nope. I was like, oh man, that was a great nap. I feel like I should still be out. I didn't get my relaxation time. I didn't get my dead brain time. So what did I do at 11:30? I went back out to like the couch for a little bit. I grabbed something to drink. Then I was like, oh, well, I'm up. I'll grab a couple crackers. Had a couple crackers. Next thing you know, that was crackers? What are crackers?
I don't know what the crackers are.
I don't know what crackers are. I would assume they're light crackers. And then next thing I know, I look up, it's 1:00. And there lies my problem. Now, like if I want to go to the gym at like 5:00, now I'm in my brain like, oh, it's 4 hours of sleep, then the rest of the day. So, nope, it starts and ends with me. But at some point, if I would like to fix this, I'm just going to have to institute a bedtime. And I don't have the discipline to give myself a bedtime.
So I go to the gym most days. I miss here and there.
Yeah,
I'll miss a day.
Yeah,
I'm pretty consistent,
Right.
right? So I go to the gym today, and yesterday I don't know why the gym was packed.
Okay.
When I was almost done at 5, because I get there at about 3:50.
Yeah, which is ludicrous.
Right.
Ludicrous.
And then I
That's
work
when I
out.
get up to go to the bathroom and go back to bed.
And then I work out till about 4:45, 5 o'clock, and then when I was heading, it was packed yesterday. I don't know why, but there was a ton of people there. Today, there was a couple of the usual suspects that come in.
Mm-hmm.
They were working out. I did my workout. Some guy came in that comes in randomly. He comes in, he works out, whatever. So I'm walking out after my workout, and he goes to fist bump me.
Okay.
And usually in our gym,
A
everybody
little gym bromance. Okay, got the gym bromance working.
Yeah,
okay.
it was a little like.
He's gonna ask you to spot him tomorrow, bro.
No, watch.
You got a gym bromance.
There's more.
Okay.
So he's like, I dap him up, and I'm like, he goes, hey, bro. And I'm like, I had my headphones on. I'm like, he's like so okay, so I move my headphones. I'm like, what's up? He's like, dude, I just want to tell you, you're crushing it here.
Okay.
I'm like,
A little vote of confidence, eh?
I'm like, okay. He's like, dude, every time that I come in, you're here, you have your headphones on, you're grinding. It's not like you do anything other than work out. You're not like pacing up and down the whole gym, and you stay in your little area, you just work out and you just grind. He goes, and I want you to make sure that you know it's not going unnoticed. Dude,
Okay,
you're grinding.
That's pretty cool.
He's like, what's up? You coming tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. He goes, what time are you going to be here? I'm like, I'm here by 4 every day. He goes, I'll be here tomorrow because you're my inspiration. Like, you are what has me wanting to go to the gym. I was like,
you.
That's Joey Swole. That's Joey Swole gym culture.
Well,
That's what he talks about all the time.
and that's so. And what's cool about that is that because you always see like those memes and stuff. It's like if you want to get better, like it's not about the attention. People do it.
Right.
Like they'll like do it for the gram or like
Right,
whatever.
right.
Like, are you doing it for the publicity or are you doing it for yourself?
Right.
Right. And obviously, you've been doing it for yourself.
Right.
And to get that positive reinforcement because we can all go to the gym and we can all try to eat right, but it's like sometimes when you don't get immediate results, and it's like prospecting,
Right.
Like you could get on the phones. We've had people get on the phones for weeks and you get nothing. We've
Right.
had people get on the phone for 5 minutes and say that it just doesn't work.
Right.
It's the long game with some of these things where you don't get and I'm an immediate gratification guy. Like, and maybe that's why, that's part of my laziness in the morning.
All of us are, because I am as well. I mean, I want to go to the gym, and I think that it's funny because one of the things they talk about at the gym, right, is you go to the gym and you don't see results right away.
Right.
And it's infuriating. And then
Well,
all of
I
a sudden
think
you start getting
that's
body dysmorphia, and you're like, oh my God, nothing's happening. And I'm eating better, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and it doesn't work. And then you're trying every supplement there is, and you're trying all these kind of things, and
I did that last week. I'm so guilty.
I just started L-carnitine 3000 now.
Dude. So I see, and I'm guilty of it. And this is where I have to learn to change when it comes to that kind of stuff. Is that I got hooked on this fitness guy, and he was doing meal prepping.
I saw you meal prepped for a couple days.
I've always wanted to meal prep, but I've never done it. Right. And so what I liked about watching this guy, a lot of it was like crock pot stuff.
Right.
And for me, that translated to smart plans for like our clients, right? Just constantly not overwhelming them with information, but like our clients that we have addresses on or that have bought new homes is that sending them that monthly nurture that just says, hey, this is what's going on, right? There's no pushy sales tactic. There's nothing like this, but people just want to know, that it's going on, and we can set it and kind of forget it until they're ready to reach out to us. And so when I was watching this guy, it was kind of like that. It was a kind of set it and forget it. I didn't have to do a whole bunch of prep work. I didn't have to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. A lot of the stuff that he does is crock pot stuff. So it was like, bro, you put in your chicken, you put in all the spices, and then, you kind of basically let it sit for 4 hours, and then maybe you chop it up and throw some noodles in and let it sit for like another 45 minutes. So I was like, you know what? I'm doing this. Right. And so I went full Ed. I went all in. I went all in on the first. I was like, I'm going to pick 2 things. And they were some of the more recent. I was like, oh, these look pretty good. And I bought containers off Amazon. I'm like, here we go.
Oh, those were new containers.
Nope, new containers. I got 50 containers for $20. They were microwave safe. I felt great. And then I realized by following his recipe, I made like 84 days worth of food. I think some of it is still in the refrigerator from my first round. And as I'm setting this all up, my wife's like, you have way too much food. I'm like, I'm going to eat it all. I did really good, but there was definitely leftovers. And then so when my mom was in town, we were talking about it. She's like, well, let's do something else. And she was looking, she's like, these look pretty good. I was like, I think both of these look pretty good. So we cut it in half. All the recipes worked out great. I had like a week's worth of food and they were really good. But here's the catch 22, right? Right. So in my brain, I'm like, of course, I haven't been, thanks for the call out. I have not been working out very much, right? And so I'm doing meal prep, and I got my food tracker back out. I'm tracking my food.
You're in.
In. From the nutrition side.
Dialed in.
From the nutrition side, never been healthier in my brain. Right? Reality. It's like one of those like Instagram versus reality things, like not even on the same planet, right? And then slowly but surely, I'm like, oh man, I've killed it today. I'm gonna treat myself. Here's a couple of Cheez-Its, right? You know, you sneak a couple of those in. And like a handful of days go by. Because I weighed myself when I first started. I was like, man, we're going before and after. Like, about to change the game, folks. Like about 4 days in, I weighed myself again. I was like, plus 1 pound. Right? I'm like, this ain't working, right? So what do I do, right?
You stop.
Instead of realizing the underlying factors that I wasn't consistent, I didn't give it enough time.
You didn't drink enough water.
I didn't drink enough water. I only did part of it. You know, that's like getting the lead's number, then not calling, or calling and hanging up after one ring. Like we've all been there. Like, oh, I called, they didn't answer after one ring, right? So it's like I went half-assed into it, didn't get the results, and I'm just like, and I could see myself slowly like, I'm not using the app today. I had a meal that I was prepped, but this looked a little better, right? Then I stopped weighing out this. And so it's funny, like, and the whole point from what your conversation going is that we all need that positive reinforcement, like those words of affirmation, right? Like, because everybody wants to know they're doing a good job. And we try on our team to remind people that they're doing a good job when they're doing it. But we can only support you. And I had this with a new team member that just came on. I just talked to him the other day. I said, listen, we can only support you and guide you if you want to be supported and guided. If you're not going to do anything, whatever, there's nothing, like, don't sign up for our team. I'll tell you straight up, like, there's nothing we can offer you.
Right.
If you don't want to be supported, if you're not going to go through the actions. So it's like, if you're not going to make the right foods, if you're not going to stick to it, if you're not going to put exercise on top of it, like, then don't, you know, like, again, some of it is better than nothing, obviously, when it comes to your health. But still, it's just like, people want the easy fix. They want to take the pill. They want to buy the secret medicine that you drink in the morning and before you go to bed that they saw on Instagram or TikTok or something. And it's going to magically sweat off 15 pounds.
The new one is Primal Queen.
What's Primal Queen?
I don't know. You're supposed to lose a bunch of weight because of it.
All I know is this morning I slammed a glass of water, took 2 teaspoons of cayenne and squirted a lemon in my eye. So I feel like by tomorrow I should be down at least 5 pounds. If not, I'm gonna try something else. But you know, that's the thing. And in this industry, I think that speaks volumes. Is that you have to be consistent. You have to have a plan. You've got to, map out your day with just like your meal prepping, your gym. You got to map out who you're calling, when you're calling, when you're like your open house, right? Because we had an agent a while ago tell us, I'm going to be the open house guy. I'm like, great. I was like, what's your plan? It's like, well, Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to go out there. I'm like, okay. But to your point, it's like, just like we would be preparing for everything. And I even laid out the plan. I'm like, listen, if you want to do that, that's great. There's plenty of agents that make a killing and a living off of open houses. But that means Monday, you should be out there filming like an intro to the neighborhood, put some content out there. Tuesday and Wednesday, you should be doing all your farming, your circle prospecting, letting people know, or Tuesday, I even told them, if you want to door knock Tuesday, call Wednesday, Thursday, go back out Friday, maybe shoot a little bit more, or, a prep video, or circle back with the door knocking.
Right.
And then you're ready to go, like you said, Saturday and Sunday, because you've done all the work leading up to it. That would be like me entering a bodybuilding contest next weekend and being like, yep, here I am. Like, right? You have not prepared for it.
That's the thing is you can't. if you don't prepare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the struggle's a struggle,
Right.
right? It's not easy. And that's why I follow a bunch of different fitness people, right? Because there's some that are like, hey, do this and you'll get results right away and whatever. But then there's some that just like, hey, it is what it is. It's something that's going to take time. It's a process. Just keep going through the process. Be consistent. And there's a lot of and the ones I really like are the ones that show, okay, this was me when I started. This is me 5 years from now, from when I first started. Because that's a true.
Sure.
The ones that say, hey, I started and a year later, this is me. Yeah, no, you didn't just do it that way.
Right.
I mean, it's very difficult to change your whole composition of your body in a year.
Right.
Without surgeries and without things. It's hard. Not that it's impossible, but it's very, very difficult and very unlikely.
It takes a lot of discipline.
And if that's all you do, but unfortunately, some of us actually have to work for a living, so we can't do it. So, I don't know. Let's see how things go. Keep attacking. Keep getting it. And we'll see you next week.
Hey.